Well, it's very simple. NHS Protect are there, as it suggests, to protect NHS staff and resources from crime. Information from all over the country, analyse that information and then work with our colleagues in the police to bring the various offenders to justice, hopefully.
Yes, they are professional criminals, and they're targeting people who, healthcare staff.
Intelligence suggests they all originate from the Coventry area, and they have been nicknamed the Coventry Falcons.
Joyce Trail, who was the mastermind, one of the most prolific thieves in NHS history. Investigators found more than 7,000 false claims over 3 years. 3/4 of all Joyce Trail's NHS claims were fake. The total cost of the fraud was almost £1.4 million.
Welcome to NHS Protect. They're charged with tackling fraud across the health service. Faker Joyce Trail was defrauding the NHS through the use of fake patients, fake appointments and fake paperwork.
Joyce Trail set up a fraud factory producing fake documents on an industrial scale. We established that 75% of all the claims that Dr. Trail submitted were false.
At Birmingham Crown Court, Joyce Trail was sentenced to 7 years in prison for defrauding the NHS of £1.4 million.
This is the largest ever prison sentence handed out to an individual following an NHS investigation.
Kevin Kane is head of the London and South East NHS counter-fraud team. Theft within the NHS is a significant problem, so each trust has its own local fraud investigator for anything that looks suspicious.
Just how big a problem is fraud in the NHS? Like any organisation of such a large size, it's open to abuse.
Venetia was suspended from her job and arrested by officers from Sussex Police. But bringing her to justice would be no easy task.
When it was put to her that they had no record of her, she then accused the officials at the university of lying and of being corrupt.
The registrar confirmed Venetia was not on the list of registered students and the documents were fraudulent. Venetia Sharma was convicted of 5 counts of fraud and 1 of forgery and counterfeiting. Having earned a total of £230,000 over 9 years working at 6 NHS trusts,
getting paid for it twice by the taxpayer.
NHS Protect, the dedicated division whose job it is to tackle crime across the health service. Liz Wood is an anti-fraud specialist with NHS Protect. Hudson had been cynically ripping off the NHS to the tune of around £136,000 a year, whilst being paid £120,000 by the private medical company. John Hudson had swindled the NHS out of £306,961.
The case was passed on to NHS Protect.
One of the functions of NHS Protect is to get involved in more complex fraud investigations.
Somebody on the inside who had access to those budget stamps, who had access to those authorising signatures.
The spotlight may have been on Sewell, but at this point the hospital didn't have any proof.
And arrested Lance Sewell at his home address. Hard copy invoices, BlackBerry phones that after they were forensically analysed detailed numerous conversations and text messages between Lance Sewell and the other people involved in the fraud. Lance Sewell received 21 months imprisonment.